What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. It is Battle, along with my tag team partner, Eli, and we are very excited. Friday Night SmackDown is coming to the Climate Pledge Arena, and that's happening September 13th. Of course, you can grab tickets, Ticketmaster.com. All the details, by the way, KZOK.com. And today, our guest on the show, my 7-year-old, is going to be very upset. Let's give it up for Bianca Belair that joined us. Bianca.
Hi.
Good morning.
And first off, let's start. Congratulations on your appearance on Family Feud.
Yeah.
Great episode. Everybody was laughing in the Battle household. So good things over there, and especially raising some money for Connor's Cure as well. How was that atmosphere like? How was that being on Family Feud?
It was so much fun. Actually, Family Feud has been a huge bucket list of mine, and I was super excited about it. But as soon as I got up there, I got so nervous.
Yeah.
You know, it's so different. You think that we will be used to it because we're on TV every Monday and Wednesday, and it's live TV, and we have the possibility of embarrassing ourselves. But going on Family Feud, it's a whole nother way of embarrassing yourself and becoming viral. So, but it was really, really fun. Steve was really cool, and we just went out there and we had fun. And I love the team that I got to pick and I got to bring with me. And, you know, I think that we showed the boys up. And we might not have finished strong, but it was fun. It was very, very fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. You can all tell that you guys were having fun, and it was great. So make sure if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch it somewhere online, and definitely go check it out and get a good laugh. You know, here we are, 2024. It's been a record year for WWE on several levels. What has been the highlight for you this year so far?
Of 2024, it's crazy because all the years blur together, especially with COVID. I would say the highlight this year would be my husband and I's reality series coming out on Hulu, Love and WWE Bianca Montez. That was something very new that we got to experience together, and I feel like really pull the curtain back and show a different side of us to the WWE universe, but also try to grab the eyes of people that aren't very familiar with wrestling, try to bring them over. That was a highlight. And then I would say this year's WrestleMania was a highlight for me. I feel like it was the first year that it was very different for me. Every year before this year, I was in the title picture. I was going for a title, or or defending a title, and it was very serious. And I feel like this was the first year where I really got to just Am I back?
Yep.
Okay.
No, you're back.
This year WrestleMania was just fun. You know, it wasn't as serious. It wasn't a title on the line. We still wanted to prove a point, but I got to do it alongside Jade, and I got to do it alongside Naomi, and it was just a WrestleMania that I feel like I wasn't just stressed out the whole entire time.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, going back to Love and WWE, congrats on the success of that. What was it like working with your husband in that capacity, you know, away from the WWE universe and kind of personal glimpses? And have we gotten news on a possible season 2 yet?
We're still waiting back. We should be hearing soon if we're going to get a season 2, but it was a great experience. I was somebody who was I'm never doing reality TV. I don't do reality for it. When I'm home, I'm more laid back. I feel like my husband is more the firecracker and the crazy guy at home. So I was really nervous about it. And, but we had a conversation. We're look, we're not going to try to be, perfect. We're just going to try to be real. So the experience was really good. You know, my husband, I travel with him. I work with him. Now I'm home working with him, but it was very good because it was I was in a different element. I wasn't Bianca Belair, the WWE superstar on camera. So when this camera crew is in your house and they're just just be you. And I'm I automatically want to go into Bianca Belair mode, but I'm this is weird. So it was strange, but it was very, very, very busy. We filmed from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. So, and then we filmed for 2 months after that. So it was 6 months of just no days off. So it was very tiring, but it was a good experience.
Nice.
Yeah, and you talk about the TV show, and I can't tell you how many times I'll scroll through social media and people are sharing all kinds of clips from the TV show. And I think the one that constantly pops up on my feed is where you're sitting there, and I guess you're in the kitchen, and all of a sudden Montez just takes your hat, and he was like, "What? You sewed in your hair to the hat?" And that is everywhere. Like, I kid you not, I see that clip multiple times a week when I'm scrolling through social media. And so obviously great show. We hope that it gets renewed for a second season. I know personally from our household, like my wife does not care anything about wrestling, but she thoroughly enjoyed y'all's show. And she's like, well, maybe I should start watching wrestling. And I said, maybe you should. So
maybe you should. Yeah.
Let's hope, let's put it out there in the universe that we get a season 2 of your show.
I love that. That was the point. So I'm glad that we at least got one person.
Yes. So between the Battle household will get you covered. We'll send like a letter to Hulu or something to make it happen. But of course, we're here to talk about Friday Night SmackDown coming to Climate Pledge Arena September 13th. You can grab tickets, Ticketmaster.com. And, you know, a lot of things have been said on the internet. There's been a lot of rumblings of potentially a secondary title for the women on the main roster, especially considering the ladies in NXT just have one with the North American title. Do you think WWE should introduce those titles, and they, should they be called like just the women's IC and US belt, or should it have its own name and identity?
Ooh, I've been hearing rumblings too about it, just like online and stuff. I think it would be great. I think that we're at a point in a time where our roster is so stacked. Before you had like a few that were at the very, very top, and they were, out there every single show and having all of the matches. And now, you kind of looked at WrestleMania a couple of months before, and you kind of like, okay, this person's going to be in Mania, this person's going to be in Mania, this person's going to be in Mania. I feel like our roster's at a time now where you're like, you don't know who's going to be in Mania, and everybody's trying to fight for a spot on the card. Somebody who you would expect to be on Mania might be left off this year. Like, our roster is just so stacked, and I feel like another title would really highlight the true talent of our division. There's so many women that could get that opportunity, and they could really highlight their talents. It's so many women that are NXT that are eventually going to get called up. So I think it'd be really cool to have another title, and just gives more opportunities for more women on the card.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we've kind of heard is kind of maybe a positive out of a negative, I guess, maybe the way to say it. But, we keep hearing about how awesome the locker room is right now. And, with Triple H leading the charge right now, what is the vibe back scenes right now? I mean, is it kumbaya? I mean, is everyone like rainbows and butterflies? Like what is it under the current leadership?
It's great. I just feel like anytime that I've been a part of a locker room, it's just, I've always had great experiences all the way down from NXT to when I first got called up. All the women were so welcoming to me. As much as Bailey was a thorn in my side, she was very welcoming to me, and she helped me out so much. And what Sasha Banks did for me at WrestleMania, and how open Naomi was to me when I first came. Like, the locker room has always been so great, and I think it's just getting better and better. And it's really cool because I look around the locker room now, and it reminds me of our locker room in NXT. And I see a lot of the same women. I feel like we were such a family in NXT because we felt like we were trying to put NXT on our back. And that's when we first got put on live TV, and we were trying to make it the third brand. And we really bonded a lot. And we knew that the success of NXT when it went live on USA was on us. So we all came together, and we all wanted the best for each other. We knew each other's success was our success. So we've carried that over in the locker room. It's great. It's great. We all want each other to do well. At the end of the day, it's still a competition. Like, if I'm on a show and Rhea and Liv and Becky are on the show, listen, I want everybody to be talking about my match. I want to have the best match still, but I think that we just push each other to do well, and we help each other out. So it's a great environment.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about environment and how awesome things are, and you have a wide variety on the roster. There's everybody is a stacked roster. And then you look at what NXT is doing with TNA, and they're working together and all those things like that. What do you think from your perspective that WWE is finally, allowing other people to come into their sandbox and play. How do you think that benefits WWE as well as these other companies? And is there somebody maybe out there that you're thinking, hey, let's bring them in and let me and her go at it?
I mean, I think it benefits everybody. I think that WWE have the best roster in the world, and having other companies come over and integrating with them is it helps everybody, and it gets everybody excited. It gives the fans what they want. I remember when Jay was in AEW, and a lot of people were saying, oh, a dream match is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And I will always say, well, people always want what they can't have, and now it's a possibility now that she's here, but now it's possibilities for more of these dream matches to happen. You had Jordan that came over for the Rumble, and she went down to NXT, and it's just exciting. It's an exciting time, and it's exciting for all the possibilities in the future. I just think that it's great for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know me and Eli were on that same page of let's get Jade versus Bianca. But now I think with this partnership between WWE and TNA, I think now the dream match is let's get Bianca and Jordynne Grace against each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Rumble this year was really good with planting some seeds. Hopefully, Jade and I, we went in there and we did the press moment across from each other and had everybody going crazy. We're like, this is just a taste of what's to come. And now all of a sudden we're in a tag team and we're taking the division by storm. Mm-hmm. Everybody kind of expected us to go head and head. And like, listen, no, it's better for us to be on the same side. So then you had the moment with Jordan and I, and everybody got really excited about that. So, the possibilities are endless for the future. And I think we planted some seeds at Rumble, hopefully.
Yeah. And I think like going back to what you're saying, like with crossing over and stuff, it's almost kind of like, guest stars for a TV series, like WWE's the main season, but then, oh, hey, here's a guest star for a couple episodes, and it's rubbing everybody, kind of a deal. So 2024 representation is as important more than ever, and you've been a trailblazer for WWE. How do you see the landscape changing for women of color in wrestling, and what impact do you want to leave on the industry when you are finished?
Yeah, so I feel like I came into WWE at an amazing time. A lot of women came before me that laid that foundation where I was able to walk in, and I feel like I was able to just walk in and not have to ask and just be me unapologetically and just go about it the way that I wanted to go about it and be very intentional with representation. And I've had the honor of being the first of a lot of things, right? Mm-hmm. And that's amazing. And I think that we have to celebrate those first. But I feel like I'm so ready to start changing that narrative to where it's now becoming the norm. And I think that we're heading in that direction. Mm-hmm. It's not something where like my success as a Black woman is like an anomaly or it's rare. It's not. It was a point in time where I looked around and I felt like I was the only Black girl in WWE because I was like, where did everybody go? Right. But where it's changing and it's evolving. You have me, you have Jade, you have Naomi, you have Meech, and you have Kaden. You have so many women of color down in NXT. And it's just going to become a time where it's not going to be any more first. And I think that that's going to be amazing. I mean, mm-hmm. I've done a lot of firsts, and I'm the first, but I don't want to be the last. I don't want to be the only one. So right. I've broken a lot of records, but I feel like records are meant to be broken. So I'm excited. I'm excited for now. I'm excited for the future. And I think that the narrative is going to start changing to where it's not, the first. It's just like, oh, this is the norm. Not saying that it shouldn't be, celebrated any less, but right. This is what's happening. And, it's not something that just seems like it's an anomaly or that it's rare.
Right. And when you see moments like Zelina Vega in Puerto Rico with the flag, yeah. I mean, it's just, and people are still talking about that year and a half later. I mean, it's just those moments are very, very impactful for people. Yeah. So,
yeah. Very. You need those moments for representation in the world, because a lot of people, I think what's really great about our roster is that anybody, any woman can look at our roster, see somebody that they relate to, 100%. Whether nationality, ethnicity, whether it's body type, whether it doesn't matter, like you have the same interest as somebody that's on the roster, and that representation, seeing them go out there and take that stage and own that stage and have these huge accomplishments. It really shows people where their possibilities and where they stand in this world. So representation is so important. I think that that's what we're doing with our division.
Absolutely. Well, Bianca, I know your time is precious, and we don't want to take up too much of it because I know you got to go on and do some other media things as well today. But we just want to say thank you for coming on the show. We look forward to seeing you Friday Night SmackDown, September 13th, Climate Pledge Arena. You can grab those tickets online now, Ticketmaster.com. And before we let you go, is there anything you want to say to people watching or listening right now?
I just want to say I appreciate all the love, all the support. Keep being the ESTs that you are. Keep watching me and Jade. We're going to go after those titles. We just need the opportunity, and we're going to be the tag team champions. We're here to elevate this division even more, and we're going to do it. So make sure you watch SmackDown and make sure you cheer the EST.